we have to do what's right and go by the golden rule. We're all adults. If we're going to say we're going to work together, then let's work together.
Need to revisit your library board.
And?
I'm not going to approve any amount or specified amount right now.
Well, let's just put the parameters. You know what, Jim? Let's upgrade. You know what? You come here, you can't pretend that going from there to here, expanding into this room, isn't an upgrade. It is.
Oh, sure.
It's an upgrade.
Okay.
And sometimes an upgrade is the best. It's the best that you can get. Let's set the parameter. I'll set it right now. I'll try and put it in a form of a motion after I talk this out. We're going to move down to the Muni. Let's have you expand on the top floor. You get the top floor, that's it, not the basement. Figure out how much that's going to cost. And we'll go from there. I don't know if I need a motion, but I can just recommend it to you.
Within the confines of the wall.
Upstairs here. Okay. It's an upgrade, Jim. Go ahead, Susan.
About a year ago, when we were talking, no, it was this summer, we were talking about reducing the original plan on the building, and we took the contents of what we had now and what you would have to do to make it ADA accessible with just what's in our room now, without adding anything, and that was ADA requirements around the public computers, ADA requirements for getting up to a desk, ADA requirements around all of 27,000 items, and it came to 4,500 square feet. This building is 35. You mess with any of the walls, and I asked the architect on it. He's been out of town, but I had him on the phone, and I said if we change any of the walls or do anything, he said then you must follow code. And that's the ADA, which we have not been in compliance with for several years. So yeah, it's an upgrade to use the whole building. It's still inadequate. So I think that's probably what the board's been getting at with it's a waste of money to put something into something that is from the get-go you can't meet code.
What about the drawings from Mr. Rivas?
He only did drawings for 14,000 items.
Right, but was it up to code?
For 14,000 items. And he admitted that he did not know how many items to draw for, and he picked that.
Right.
So he was at half.
Right, but he was up to code.
He was. But you still have double that collection that has to be up to code somewhere.
So you have about 28,000 items.
We're right at about 27 right now. And we just weeded 1,000 out.
That's why I think they should plan to use both floors and at least come back with that. If you're going to confine them to this building, at least let them use the whole building.
All right, then we'll do that.
Then at least we meet the basic space requirements. Not ideal, and we can at least then take a look and see what the costs look like.
All right. Upstairs and downstairs, Jim. Is that acceptable? Well,
does it include the 60 feet out?
I think going out should be, you should program it, but it's going to be based upon getting that other funding, applying for and getting that other funding. Unless, for some reason, they can come up and do all of that for a dollar amount that the council would approve. And that would be highly doubtful, but
You're still calling in that FEMA money, aren't you?
that's the only way that I would count on.
We don't have the money to build out if we don't have that FEMA money.
Right.
That's another unknown then too.
Right, which is why it would be another phase. It's like how we divided the electrical work into those 4 different projects in case something didn't get funded, we could pull one of them and the whole project wouldn't fall apart.
Go ahead, Nancy.
I have a question. Did Mr. Bubani have any numbers regarding the library and the capital financial plan? And the capital plan presented earlier?
We plugged it in,
And that number was?
800,000.
That's
It was
the
just a number to
that's
plug
where
in.
that number came from.
We also looked at 750.
Right.
We actually also looked at
500.
500,
We looked
just
at
to see
500.
what it would be,
Yeah.
to see how much it changes.
Because you've seen the model, he puts the number in here and it plugs in, the
And it wasn't-
calculates.
It wasn't necessarily 500 for the library. I just asked to see what's 750 between the 2 projects, and it was, he already had 250, so he typed in 500.
Okay.
It was nothing.
So you guys can spend less on the
Yes,
city hall.
If we can spend less,
Or
yes.
you could spend less here.
We'll spend
and
less.
more down
What's the pot of gold?
Pardon me, Carol?
What's the whole pot? $1 million?
The whole pot?
Yeah, I mean, between City Hall and the library, you're thinking of working with $1 million?
That was,
No.
No.
that was the numbers that were thrown into the thing today.
So you don't have a limit on what your money you're gonna be devoting to these 2 projects together?
It's less than $1 million.
There's a limit, there's no basement.
Yeah.
What's the limit?
You won't know until.
It's gonna be $1 million would be the absolute limit, but it's gonna be it's gonna be less than that.
Well, that may be the number that Heather's talking about. Is now, we might know from this that the 2 projects together are gonna go probably $1 million, and you said that you could probably get it for under $250,000 for the munis, which could leave us with the rest.
Let's
In
just
other
move-
words, to do this is gonna cost us more than to do the muni for you,
Right.
because we've got electrical and plumbing and heating and all that stuff.
That's right, and it would be far less for everyone if the library was down there, if we're just talking dollars, and this was turned into City Hall.
Right.
Understand space, if we're just talking dollars and cents. And again, as was suggested today, it would be even cheaper to do nothing. And just sit here and twiddle our thumbs and go down there and turn the lights on every once in a while and flush the toilets. So, we're trying to do something.
Right.
This
That makes
USDA
sense.
grant that you talked about in your report from the subcommittee, what does that refer to? Something you're gonna apply for, or is that something we've
Oh,
already?
we've already got that money, it's the $2 million. That's the $2.3 million.
But you don't wanna take it on as that debt, you don't wanna take that debt on, right?
Not all of it.
No.
What we're saying, we've worked it out so we can take a portion of it. We're trying to arrive at what that portion
Well,
is.
I think that Heather makes a good point about adjusting our expectations to a cost rather than having to go back to an architect every time you say it's too much. Or start being perceived as telling the library board, you can't do this, but you can do that.
More clear.
We're clear.
We're
You
good.
good, Jim? Thank you.